Okay, so getting things set up. We're going to do a little tiny bit of a live show. I need to see the R7 in a live environment, see what fails and what comes back. So let's start the show in 2 minutes so that I can edit this properly. In the meantime, you could see me taking the color temperatures and see the inside secrets to what I am doing. So this is a, I'll explain it at 10, okay? You got a minute to go, so keep your pantyhose on. So let's see, R7. I would say the R7 is still a little bit cooler. I'm not live yet. Hi, Sammy. Hi, everybody. I'll be with you guys in a second. I need to check this stuff out on a live show for color balancing. So just give me a minute. We'll come on live at 10, okay? We'll make it a show at 10. It is halfway through the summer. So I'm taking the R7 off and unplugging it, turning it down, off, down and off. Should not be an interchangeable word. Okay, so I'm going to go and move the color temperature to 2900. Maybe it needs to be tricked. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking out loud, so you guys just keep your pantyhose on. Okay, so here's a 2900. I would say, all right, so we're at 10 o'clock. Hey guys, welcome. It's the middle of the summer. It's kind of a surprise show. I need to see the R7 in a live environment. What better place than to come here with you, because I know I could get some really good feedback right here. Plus, I'll get to watch this later. So what I was doing is, this is a color checker passport by X-Rite. Okay, so what I do is I hold this up and then I go into the camera, do my own little tricks. Come on. Hey, I keep telling everybody you focus like nobody else, so what the heck is that crap? Okay, so that is kind of what I'm doing here. So I did that, and I want to compare it, or I should say balance it, with the Nikon Z6. Now I don't plan on making any changes with the Nikon Z6, but I do need to see what's up. So this is a X-Rite color checker. So what you guys been doing? It's the middle of the summer, and now I have some of the data that I need to work on this, and I'm going to get it off of the live stream, which is different than me just recording it here and looking back to see what it looks like. So if you're wondering, well, why didn't you just record? You could do that during the week, because YouTube is adding its own crap to this mix, all right, and I want that. I could have done it unlisted, you're right. Okay, so let's see who's here. Scotty's here. He's saying, oh yes. Sammy's here. Hi, Sammy. How's my buddy? I love you. Scotty, he's been having withdrawals. Well, get back on the sugar, dude. Hey, Simon. Simon, happy Friday, Peter, my friend, and to everybody. Let's get ready to party. Dr. Charles is here. Hey, you feeling better? You know, Charles was in the hospital. You didn't know that? Yeah, Charles was in the hospital. So, you feeling better? Let's see. What did Scott say? I saw Scott. Periwinkle shirt. Canon strikes again. You got to get over that, Scott. It's just the way it is. You're either going to like the camera or you're not. If it's a deal breaker, then it's a deal breaker, honestly. But let's see what it looks like when I put these 3 cameras together. I did that before for the video that I did. Okay, now I need to step back. All right, so now let's take a look. The reds to me kind of look close enough where I wouldn't have a problem. Okay, there's no like, oh, I better adjust that right away. Look in the reds or in the skin tones. Okay, so the blue is where we, whoops, let's not fall down. The blue, okay, now there's 3 cameras and there's 3 different blues. What am I going to do? Okay, are they far enough where I couldn't broadcast on NBC or ABC or CBS? Not that I would want to be on any of those junky places, but so I'm kind of examining what I see now, and I'm trying to commit it to memory so that when I go in and do a little bit more balancing, it could get a little bit better. But how about this? I am loving the R7. So far there's no disappointments. Okay, even the LED blue lights back there that are a little more purplish. Okay, now watch the color of the lights. When I'm up here, they get to be more violetish, purplish. When I come in here and the camera's focusing more like right here, they become more neutral completely. Okay, and if I just come up a little bit more, they're more blue. So what that's telling me is the camera is basically more centered towards the center. Okay, that's just what I'm interpreting. You guys can have your own interpretation. Charles says, I think he's just color balancing. Yeah, but I wanted the opportunity to say hello and see what's going on. Sammy says, I hear you. Good, I'm glad. Aaron is there. Aaron, Mr. Handsome, lost all that weight. Oh, I'm down to 168.5. I'm not going to round it up for that half a pound. So I'm doing really good. Peter, I need a color balancing tool. My birthday is next Friday. Any ideas? I was thinking of getting a middle gray strap for Liam's wrist, or so I could stop balancing against sidewalls. Just paint Liam gray. Get your sprayer and spray the kid gray. No, it's this is you got to know how to work this. So don't be going out and buying this. You know, it gives you that, and then if you flip it by a page like a book, if I could find out where to get my fingernail in. Okay. Nobody said this was easy. Okay, so now that's what's on that page, and then if I just rotate it instead of closing it, that's what's on that page. But you got to know how to work this stuff. It's not for people that just want to kind of experiment. And you can't be touching this like this. You got to be up here so your fingers are out of the way here. So what I'm going to do is, first it's going to get done by eye, okay? Then it's going to be done where I identify the individual boxes. And I needed to do that live. Romania has checked in the building. Hi, Andrea. How are you doing, buddy? What is being made in Romania that kind of shocked the heck out of me? And I'm going, Andre lives there. So Jim Monday is here. Good evening, Peter and all. I hope you guys, like I know Jim is on the Patreon. I've got the next video up there on the focusing test that I just did in the backyard. Okay, walking around with that camera, and I just finished editing that. And here's Shane in the blues. I missed you, Shane. I need you to be standing right here. I could still feel you standing here. I give you a nice big hug. Shane came to visit me. Boy, what a wonderful visit. Charles is saying, yes, I feel so much better. So Charles, he sent down a picture of him in the emergency room. Oh my God, I felt I needed to go get the anointing oil out and spray him with oil. Yes, I'm a priest. An ordinary filmmaker. Oh my God, there's 3 Peters. I'm petered out. You behave yourself, okay? I try to keep it clean and I keep failing. Now, don't throw me under the bus. Okay, so let's see. Simon is saying something about Liam's pants. I forgot to bring the cards. Most of the time we have Liam wear gray shorts or pants. Works wonders. I should get one of those white balance cards. What am I touching over here? I don't know. So Andre says I would be curious to see a comparison between the R7 and the E10, both with 50 millimeters. Well, the one with the 3, you just got to ignore the, there you go. Ignore the Nikon Z6. There it is. I can step back a little more and put me in the center. Okay, see, if I go all the way up, it's hard to put me in there. Okay, but if I go back far enough, I can centerize it. Now, I love doing this part. It just shows me that the Nikon processor is behind. I'd say the Canon processor is the fastest. Okay, and I would say the Sony is almost equal to it. And I would say the Nikon is clearly slower in the processing speeds. Okay, now, watch my lips as I speak to you. Which one is right on target and which one is behind? All right, well, that's not fair because right now I'm making the computer process 3 cameras at once. So let's go over here and go, the rain in Spain falls mainly on the plains. Ba-ba. The rain in Spain falls mainly on the plains. Now I got to do that again. Should have been smarter. The rain in Spain falls mainly on the plains. Ba-da. Okay, so you could, if you're watching for it, you can see that there is a little bit of a difference. Simon says, firmware update for the R3 and R5 is due next week. I expected that. I'm surprised it's taking them so well. It's summer. We'll go out for some coffee. Then we'll go out for a donut. And then the donut needs some hot chocolate, so we'll take the donuts to go, please. Can I get those donuts to go? So then I would come back and, have it all together. So let's see who popped up. So Andre, you got to see them together. I think I have a thing in here where I could put, is the other camera on? Yeah, I think I could put all of the cameras together. Not sure. I think it's this one. There we go. Okay, so this is all 4 of the live 4K cameras that's on in here right now. They're all over the place. So let's start identifying. I would say the top left is the Nikon, and I would be correct. Okay, the one to the right of that would be, yep, that is the R7, all right? So what's now down below? That would be the E10. And so far, there's a chance I get them all correct. And now, there is the Kentucky Fried Chicken ZFC camera right up there. Carlos is saying, I'm still in a session, but I wanted to say hi, Peter. How you doing, buddy? I love you. You've got 4 of me to deal with now, so if you think you got troubles in your session, bring your person in. I'll straighten them right out. Just right on. Well, no, then you won't be able to, to have more meetings with the person, and I'm sure you like them and you like them coming in. So Andre says, Peter, what? What do you want, Andre? I know you have the Canon 51.2. Lo and behold, you're absolutely correct. Let's put on a good camera. Okay, there we go. That's the 50 millimeter 1.2. Now, what I don't have is an overhead camera or the close-up, because I moved that back in the kitchen so that I could show food in a close-up. So I have this put on. What do I have it put on? This is the Ecamm light. Can I get this close enough? Let's see what happens if I walk up there. Okay, so that is, will it focus? That's the 50 millimeter L 1.2 lens. Okay, so this is the, what is that? Ecamm light It's the only one I could find in stock. Okay, so that's why I've got that on there. So on the big channel, the next videos that are going to come out is going to be me walking around. I'm curious as to how the image stabilizer does. So I'm going to take this. It's not going to be very highly professional or scientific, but the backyard is hard to walk in. It's got these lumps, not lumps, but dips and stuff like that, where the water has caused certain areas to sink in. So it's not like I could just turn around and casually walk normal and try to hold the camera level while I'm walking normal, which I can do, okay? I'm not as dumb as I look. However, in the backyard, I can't do that. So the camera will be going like this, and I will be going to see what's going to happen. So I recorded that, and I edited that. So that'll go up next week sometime. And so where was I? Carlos said that he's still in the session, but he wanted to say hi. Hi, I love you. Thank you for being a part of the Christmas room. Henry, how you doing, Henry? Hey, Peter, looking good. The Sony is more true to life. Colors are excellent presentation. Okay, so since we're kind of here in a private room, I could say what I want, right? So here's the variables. First, you have the absolute. The absolute is the color that's here. That's absolute. It is not changing. If it actually is changing, that would be bad, okay? So the next thing that we have is a variable, and that would be each sensor. So this sensor actually interprets colors the way it wants. This sensor interprets the colors the way it wants. And this sensor interprets the colors the way it wants, okay? And then, of course, let's not leave the ZVF out. Okay, so, oh, I could use that as a close-up camera. Very good. I got the ZFC set up to be a close-up camera. Okay, hold on, guys. Let me just check on this real quick. That's fully zoomed. Okay, so I can't get any better than that. Okay, in terms of doing a close-up, and the glare is not helping at all. Okay, all right. So that's the ZFC, but the ZFC, if I put it in no crop mode, okay, it's got its own color renditions. Okay, look like I got bedhead. I was just laying down in the chair, so. So what was I talking about? Okay, the variables, all right? So the E10, now the next variable is YouTube. YouTube does its own little game, okay? Where are you? Over there. So YouTube does its own little game. It does what it wants. So now you've got the sensor interpreting colors. You've got the absolute, which is the real colors that happen here. They are by the sun, or in our case, the studio lights. That's an absolute. A variable, the sensor. Each one reads it differently, processes it differently, and then it goes over to Ecamm. I don't think Ecamm, it can change the colors, okay, but I don't think it colorizes it in its own interpretation, but YouTube does. Then you've got the final thing, and that is what you're actually looking at. What you're looking at in your home, in your bedroom, in your living room, is interpreting the colors different than is happening right here on my own 40-inch TV, where it's my monitor. And Charles, whatever he's watching on, he's got colors coming on there. One guy might have it calibrated, the other guy might not. One guy might be looking at it in Windows, the other guy might be looking at it in an Apple computer. Each one changes the colors, okay? And then on top of that, you've got other things that can change the colors. You've got Chrome, that whatchamacallit, the browser. You've got Safari, another browser. You've got, what's Microsoft's newest? Edge, okay? Then you've got iPads, iPhones, Android phones. All of those interpret colors differently. So go back and look at the comments from the last video I put up here, okay? I mean, there's some very nice comments, but you'll get a sprinkling of comments. I like the Z6 so much better. I like the R7 is perfect, like on the spot. The E10 is head and shoulders above all the rest. I can't take that seriously, not because I'm being rude, okay? I can't take that seriously because that iPhone and that Android phone and that iPad and that iMac and that Windows PC with NVIDIA card in it, all these different things are changing the colors. So you're telling me basically when you make a comment, I just accept it, because that's what you're looking at. I'm not speaking directly to you, Henry, right now. I'm just kind of like, I've been wanting to get that said. I don't know if I should say that on the big channel, because people think it's a contest between this camera and this camera. Oh, well, I like this camera better, okay? This camera, before it was too blue. I was actually looking like, wait, let me take my pulse, okay? So now I just changed it so that we are at 2900. It might even be able to go up to 3000 on the K scale, okay? But I had it to 2700, and it was like I was very bluish. I didn't like the way I looked. I looked bluish, okay? So Lewis, Mr. Camera Junkie, he is here. Are you coming by this way? I want to see Aiden and say hi. Because I know you could come and say hello, and Jim is saying hi. Okay, so we got about 20 minutes in, and this is what the R7 looks like live. For you to see it now, you know, live, and then I will look at the playback, and I will be looking at the Passport Color Checker by X-Rite, and I will be doing a little bit of color analysis. But it's fun. Woody, what are you doing up, buddy? So, did you see all the 4 cameras that were running, Woody? Let me put them back up. Because Woody made a comment. I forgot what the comment was. But he was saying, what 4 cameras are you running? So we just identified all these 4 4K cameras. Okay. So this is the middle of July. We're halfway through the summer. So it's a good time to pop up. Oh, Charles said, how's the house situation coming? It's better, it's worse. My brother wants to do, the one that's suing us, an inspection. So he wants to walk through the house. I'm not comfortable with that. I don't want people to know what cameras I've got, or what's in my bedroom, or what's in my underwear drawer. You know, it's kind of private. So I guess I'm going to have to ask the lawyer what to do about that. Okay. I mean, he is my brother, and he does own 25% of the house, but it's my residence. So I don't know what to do about that, but that brings you up to snuff on that. Let's see, Andrea wants to say something about the colors. I can confirm that I like the image from the Sony. Watching on my 4K OLED TV display and on my iPhone. Okay, so there you have, well, the iPhone would be one different browser. What browser is being used on the Sony 4K OLED TV, Andrea? What browser do you use to get it on there? Using Roku, Apple, or what? I would guess you might be on the Apple TV. I'm just taking a guess. From here to Romania, Andrea, I don't know what's happening to the colors from here to Romania. Now, I could say that I could see a positive in each one, okay? So this one looks more luxurious to me. It's got a richer look. Now, is it my skin that looks better? Or is it that it's a different background? Because this background is different than this background, okay? I don't have the wreath, and this is 50 millimeter, but this one here is a 50 millimeter, and it's on a cropped sensor, where all the others are at 50 millimeter one way or the other. So the R7 is 35 millimeters, 1.8, which is giving me about a 54, 56. All right, so this is a 50mm Carl Zeiss, higher quality lens, highest. We're talking about a $2,500 lens. And I think the lenses that you feed these cameras make it different. Okay, so Andrea is saying it's the YouTube app on the in 4K. Okay, so each one, so this does have a richer look right here. Okay, so what is this? This one says E10 zoom. Oh, I can even get closer. So I've got another camera, the same camera, cropped a little bit. So you can't tell me this doesn't have a pretty rich look to it. Okay, and it's one of those things where it's the angles, it's the millimeters of the lenses. Of course, I'm at 1.4, and it's the backgrounds. So this background is a little more elegant. So that is what we've got going. Okay, but this is really what I want to see. I want to see what's happening here. Okay, so I've got the image stabilization test where I'm walking around the backyard. Okay, that video is going up on the big channel. I've got a video coming up where I just show off the 35mm lens that's on that camera right now, the R7. Okay, so I got those two in the can. All right, so what other things do you think I could do for the big channel that would get all the people that are watching there? You know, the R7 is a hot camera right now. People want to see it, and just look at the numbers. I get like 1,000 or 1,200 views on something from the Panasonic GH6, but almost 5,000 views when I show the R7. So I'm on a roll. So what other videos do you think the general public would like to see with the R7? Okay, now remember, I don't travel, so don't be sending me here and there and everywhere. Okay, so I did the backyard, I did that. So I do have where I can show off the 50mm 1.2 and show off the adapter at the same time. That would be a good video. I can also do a video showing off, this is the kit lens, which is 18mm to 150. This is a lot of fun. Okay, I use this. I've got this camera set up so I can grab it and run. Okay, where the other ones, all of the other ones, I'm very hesitant to touch them. They're set up, they're working. If it ain't broke, don't touch it. Okay, so I take this camera and I go and I take pictures with it onto an SD card. Okay, so that's one of the other things. So this camera is set up where all these settings right now is set up to custom 1. And then when I want to put it back up here, I switch the dial to custom 1, and we are over and running. Oh, good. Charles says, by the way, I got my new Fujifilm X-HS2. Now that is a very interesting camera. If I had no lenses at all, okay, and wasn't invested, I would take a serious look into that one. So I hope you post some videos on that, Charles, because that should attract some attention. Not like Canon, okay? It's not going to do what Canon does, okay? So in terms of pulling power. Okay, so Andrea says he wants a comparison video on the EV10 or the Sony E10 versus the R7 and the 50mm 1.2. That might be interesting because I have a 50mm on both of those. A true quality. Okay, now the Zeiss is head and shoulders above this L. However, I would take the L any day, okay, because it's actually not as sharp and it makes things actually look more pleasant, more flattering, okay? Now, if I was going to take a picture from the 1.2L into a contest, and the contest was against what Andrea just said, which is the Sony Zeiss 50mm, the Zeiss 50mm would win the contest. But we don't live in a contest, okay? We live in the real world. This is planet Earth. This is a planet. We live in countries and states, not in a contest. So I just wanted to bring those things Yeah, I started to work. Shane taught me how to do the timestamp. So I just put a video up, right, Shane? So I started watching it and writing down some timestamps. So I'll get it done this weekend and add it to that video. And it's all because of you, young man. All because of you. Okay, so I have started to do the timestamps. I might even start to do the timestamps in the kitchen. Oh my God. And if there's an easy way to do that, because I'm watching it and writing notes on a piece of paper, okay, where most people would probably write the notes in the computer, I do better with a piece of paper and a pen. So I'm about a third of the way through, and then I will just put them all in. I will do the 0.00 or the :00 like you taught me. So Shane's been doing me some teaching. Oh, Shane, I got a question, okay? And it's an important question. The road system that you have, if you were to turn on, if you have any of the Panasonics still there, turn on the Bluetooth and see if you get static. In the kitchen, on that cheapy weepy microphone system, the Maeo, I get terrible static. So I wanted to know, because the Rode GoPro 2, which is for 2 people, also works on the 2.4. Okay, now we didn't record in the kitchen, so the GH4 was not on. So when I turn the GH4 on, it does not interfere with this Sony. Okay, but it does interfere with the 2 mics that I do have. So I wanted to ask you, if at your leisure, turn on one of your Panasonics with the Bluetooth and record a few minutes and see if you get static interference on the Rode. I might just pull the Rode, the one that you had, from B&H as a loaner and test it myself here. Okay, but I can't use the other microphone in the kitchen. Okay. Charles says, when are you uploading your next Peter's Kitchen? I got 2 of them in the can, and I just figured out how to make the best pancakes I've ever had. Never mind the fact that they're low sugar. So I need to record that. So sometime this weekend I'll have something up on the kitchen channel, and then I got 2 more after that. I just did a short rib roast. So that'll be coming. So I'm just thinking, that brings you up to date, guys. So we did a little 30 minutes show, and you got to see the R7. I'll do a little walking around again. We've done this over and over and over, so I don't think this is all that important anymore. But I kind of get a kick out of how smoothly this R7 brings me up with whatchamacallit. So maybe Shane's answering me already. Actually, shot with the GH5 Mark II yesterday outside with the Rode wireless, but I'll check and see if there's anything. I never noticed it before, but the camera Bluetooth was possibly off. So here's where it causes me the problem exactly. Okay, no, Charles, the cookie thing is closed down. I don't think an order would actually go through. I'm not going to open it till later. Christmas cookies in the summertime, is not the best thing. But if you got the hankering, you got to have them. I can help you get them. I can tell you where they're using a similar thing. So Shane, back to you. Here's exactly how it's set up. I have the GH4, and it's on the ceiling above me, so it's about the same distance as from the camera from here to there. Okay, I have the Bluetooth on, and in the iPhone, okay, I turn on their, what's it called? Panasonic Image app. And I connect it so that I can focus by tapping or change the ISO. Now, when I record and I'm doing that, okay, all through the recording, there's pops, snap, crackle, pop, okay? And it's interference. And the way I figured that out is I couldn't figure out if it was a wire, so I started playing with wires. And then when I was just totally stumped, okay, the I got it in my head. Maybe it's the Bluetooth is interfering, because that system is on a 2.4. This is on a UHF, what you're listening to right now. That's on a UHF band. So I turned off the Bluetooth from the camera, cleared it right up. So can I repeat that again? Could I make it happen again? Turn on the Bluetooth, connect it to the Panasonic Image app, control the camera. And it doesn't just happen when I'm controlling the camera. I'm just giving you a thorough example. Sure enough, snap, crack, it made it so the video was completely unusable. However, for you guys that are on, okay, so that's the end of that story, but still talking to Shane. Shane taught me vocal or voice isolation on Final Cut Pro. What an amazing feature. Now I can only do that on the Mac Mini M1 because it won't work on the iMac for Big Sur. So when I update that to Mojave, I will find out if it works there. But if you are working with Final Cut Pro, check under on the sound section for voice isolation. And if you've got surrounding, like right now, if I'm quiet, you can hear the air conditioner because the mic will pick it up. Now, if I put this video through Final Cut Pro and put on vocal isolation or voice isolation, the air conditioner disappears. And my voice sounds beautiful without all the added things that I do, okay? So that is a huge, huge find. Anybody working with Final Cut Pro, make sure you look. Okay, Charles is saying something about Rode. Okay, I use my Rode Wireless Go 2 with my XT4, and my XT4 has Bluetooth, and I get no interference. That's good, okay, because I'm thinking I want to pick up a two-man mic system. I was impressed on the way it operated when Shane came here in the Christmas room, okay? So the video came out good, and then when I processed it, it sucked. But Shane's did not, okay? So that's when he taught me about the Final Cut Pro. All right, so this is the RX-7. Tom, how you doing, Tom? Okay, guys, Tom is the big man on campus tonight. He's wearing the big boy pants. He actually crossed over 100,000 subscribers. He beat the pants out of all of us. He just blew us, except for Shane, okay? So I am so proud of you, Tom. I really am. And I did watch. I was laying in bed taking my afternoon nap, and I heard you and Heather, talking back and forth. I tried to make a couple of comments, but I rolled over and went back to sleep. Well, the only way I could find out about that is to actually get that in here and try it. So that's what I'm going to do. And I'll have a hands-on in my environment. You can't beat that for a test, okay? It's not like a Tesla where you could take the Tesla home for a day or two. So, but anyway, let's not just gloss over the fact that Tom, what a transition that man has made. He's an inspiration, okay? So, and he hates it when you gloat on him. So since I know he hates it when you gloat on him, I'm just going to gloat on him more, okay? I'm just going to gloat on Tom Buck. How wonderful Tom Buck is, and make him turn red. It's nothing more satisfying than to see a red Tom Buck, okay? But seriously, he went from being a teacher in a high school, okay, started a YouTube channel, which he had rolling. Because of YouTube, he met his wife, be careful there, okay, and then married her. Accomplishment after accomplishment after accomplishment. The man has a heart that doesn't fit into his chest, okay? And anytime I ask Tom, I pick up the phone and call, I get an answer. It's never go away, come back another day, okay? Tom is just there, all right? So, and he's really a sweetheart. I mean, he's genuinely somebody that you would want as a friend. All right. So, Tom, when I said in my comments, can I come over to your house next week? Answer me like a teacher. Your answer should have been, I don't know, can you? Okay, because the answer is no, I can't. I'm in Miami. You should have said, may I come over to your house next week? Yes, you may. You're more than welcome to come over, Peter. Now, whether you can do it or not, I'm not the one to answer that question. So that's what I was trying to lead you into, and you just started laughing. I don't even know what thought. And then you catch my attention because you've got that friend named Peter. So when you say, Peter, my ears perk up and I can't go to sleep because I'm thinking Tom is talking about me. Tom wouldn't talk about little old me. I'm not important enough for him to talk about me, but Tom is big stuff. Speaking of big stuff, here's our biggest player here. Tom's channel is growing fast. It'll be bigger than mine. Oh, he's up to, Shane is over 200,000 now, or right up there. Okay, well done, Tom Buck. Tom, you really accomplished something, and it's basically an inspiration, but it's something more than an inspiration. It's when you follow somebody's pattern. You're the default. Is that the right words? Well, I'm not a teacher. I'm not smart like Tom. Okay, so he's the pattern. He came in with just a few thousand. He passed me. Oh, we hit 39,000, by the way. Yay! On the big channel. And we hit 5,000 on the kitchen channel. Yay! Tom hit 100,000. Yay. I love you, Tom. If you were in here in this area, I would give you a hug where you'd say, I can't breathe. Okay, so Tom is part of the family, and that's why I'm enjoying teasing him right now to no end. Because he's going like, oh, shucks. Oh, shucks. Oh, shucks. Okay, he doesn't take compliments well because he's got a humble heart. He's a sweet, he's somebody that is a people pleaser. It can get him into trouble. Okay, and that's why I was a little bit aggravated. I mean, I don't have anything to do with it, but this guy just went off on Tom and was using the F word and everything to say bad things about Tom Buck. And I'm going like, well, where is that guy? Me and my family, we'll go take care of that situation really, really quick, okay? So, but then Tom played it on his channel, and that's a beautiful issue of humility. So, but I don't think giving him your airspace, my thoughts were like, no, don't be giving him your effing airspace. Dang, the guy is mental. He didn't take his meds that morning, okay? So I look at it like this, especially when I get bad comments, okay? There's a lot of people, let's just say thousands, because I'm not in that high echelons, that actually like me and would say nice things about me. Some people would actually support me even financially. Some people would support me by praying for me. Some people would support me by texting me, or they would support me by being here and making things nice. And yet, I'm going to put all those people aside like they are meaningless and give attention to the guy with the foul mouth, bad attitude, lying spirit, and give him the attention. So now, what gets the weight? It's all the nice people. Not the one piece of crap that is a walking rectum. They should not get our attention. And I do the same thing when I read the comments. Oh, you got a chicken neck. Well, I think there's at least 100 people that would come to my defense. He's fat. Leave him alone, okay? So I'm not going to pay attention to the fat chicken neck, or you're too old, or you're too stupid. I get a lot of those comments. As a matter of fact, I have them filtered out. So if anybody says chicken neck, I don't even see it. If anybody says fat, I don't see that. If anybody says old, I got that being, so I have to see what they're talking about. Maybe the camera's old or the lens, so that goes into the holding tank. So Jim says it was Tom talking about you that led me to this channel. Okay, so Here's Uncle Tom, Uncle Buck. The nice people are definitely the ones to focus on. I know you know all this. I'm ranting because I'm thinking like, don't give him your airspace. Give it to me if you're going to give it to someone else. Give it to Mr. Camera Junkie. Give it to somebody. Don't give it to the guy that's calling you names and using the F-bomb. Get him off your channel, you know. So I sound like I'm correcting Tom, and you don't correct the guy that's bigger than you, so I can't be correcting Tom anymore. Okay, he's bigger than me. Boom! The heavy hammer can come down. So I love you, Tom. Congratulations on 100,000 subscribers. You did it, I would say, in a year or possibly 2. Okay, because you just passed your 2nd anniversary, right? You are the template to follow. Now, if we could just do it, discipline, which is what you have, okay, or it's those shirts. I'm going to have to get me a shirt that looks like your shirt. And maybe people just don't like this shirt. Okay, just for grins and giggles, I want to do the 3 cameras again one more time, because and this is done on Ecamm, no special software. It's just Ecamm. And now I'm looking at it a little bit more critically, and yeah, it's steps. Step 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so I'm never going to get the blues to match, but the facial tones, the face is the most important part. Okay, if I had a picture of Tom's face here, okay, that it would be his facial tones that I would work on, and it would be like I was doing a portrait. I would fix all those zits on his face and all the old age wrinkles, and I'm just teasing you, Tom. Okay, so I mean, you're a handsome dude. That's why Heather married you. Okay, so that brings our show to an end for tonight, guys, and this is the midsummer. Thank you for coming in. In 10 days, it'll be July 25th. It'll be Christmas again. You may or may not see me again till after Labor Day, depending on what comes or goes or what happens. So I love every one of you. I think of you. Well, I have to think of you. I pray for you guys every day. So how do you pray for somebody and not think about them? So I do think of you. That means I pray for Tom too. I don't pray for Tom double because he's twice as big now. So he still gets the single prayer, but you know, whatever. And Heather, you're included. All right, everybody. So we know that Carlos is in a psychology session right now. We know Tom is all red. And Heather is going like, you deserve it. You deserve it. He's saying the truth. And he's going like, no, don't talk about it. So we know what Tom is doing. We know that Shane is well and got back to Australia safely. We know that Andre's in Romania and he's doing well over there. We know Charles is out of the hospital and feeling better. Mr. Camera Junkie is taking care of Aiden. Who else we got going here? I'm looking back up through the comments. We didn't have that big of a crowd. Woody probably came and went to bed. Jim Mundy, I love you, Jim. You're supposed to call me and you didn't. Okay, so we'll start fresh. Call me next week. Okay, Henry Vega is here. He's doing well. And Scotty is here and doing well. And Sammy Superstar is here and doing well. So there you got it, guys. That ends our show. God bless